What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another, I don't know, is this an edition now? Are we going to do this every week, Papa Dude?
Oh, if you want to. I don't
another
mind
edition of Racing Dude's Best Bets as we kind of go over that page and what all's going on there and kind of update you on what we've been doing and how we've been doing. All right. I'll have to the screen now. You can look at it. Let's start with you, Papa Dude. Let's see how it's going this week for you. Already 2-1 on Sunday. You did pretty good. Still looks like the profits right around where you were, maybe up a little bit. Kind of talk about your week with the best bets.
It was a crazy one, up and down, up and down. Baseball's really tough right now. I can't, we talked on the Heartbreak Show just a minute ago about your struggles with the Rockets and how you were getting discouraged. The same thing happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I cannot hit a best bet on our best bet show.
Yeah.
And it's getting so frustrating because I'm getting other things right, but I can't get the best bet. Boy, that just irritates me more than anything.
Yeah.
So my best bet yesterday was the Padres, and I think it was the Twins parlay. Mm-hmm. And I felt good about the Padres because they've been playing well, and they didn't hit the ball, and it was an early game. I'm out of the parlay at 1:30.
Yeah.
And I'm so pissed off. I'm just like you were, and I'm saying, because I texted you, I said, I'm in a slump. I can't hit these parlays, and then boom. Baltimore wins at plus money. Texas wins at plus money. And just like that, I'm looking around trying to find something else to put on there. I'm on a roll and I couldn't find anything. So I kind of felt a little bit better after those two. But right now, baseball is tough. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Right now, you got to be careful. I'm thinking the trade deadline is the 31st, I believe. So we're about a week away. Well, it is. It's next Monday, the trade deadline. You got a bunch of guys that are hearing that they might be traded on some of these teams, like the Cardinals. I think they're losing those last three, and Chicago has pretty much screwed their season. I think
you got to think they're done.
Yeah, I would think they're going to be sellers. I think they were kind of hanging on because they've been playing pretty good going in there. And had they won 3 out of 4 instead of losing 3 out of 4, they might hesitate just a little bit. But now I think they're out of it. I think that pretty much cooked them. What are the Mets going to do? I think the Mets are done. They have no chance to win the division. Mm-hmm. So I think there might be some movement there. So there's teams out there, and these guys are on these teams, and they're hearing this stuff. I don't know. It has to affect you because you're going to be moving. So baseball's a little tough right now. You got to be careful, about what's going on. So anyway, it's interesting following it at the moment.
So one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about before I move over to myself, trying to describe I think a lot of people look at baseball and go, I'll wait till football. Talk about how fun baseball actually is to bet. Because I'm shocked.
It really is.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you know what? If you can hit, and this is a lot of your strategy too, if you can hit a couple of, you don't want to play crazy long shots.
No.
Unless you have, the money to throw away, because you're going to miss those crazy ones. Mm-hmm. You'll hit one every once in a while. Like Oakland will win one every 2 weeks. Right. Well, if you bet Oakland every day, that's not going to be worth it. Right. So you got to really pick your spots with teams like that, and the Royals. But Baltimore's a team right now that's worth it. They're worth it. And you're in the Tampa Bay series. Tampa Bay is tanking it. They're not playing very well. Baltimore's playing great. That was a great bet.
So Baltimore goes to Tampa, takes 3 out of 4, and they were plus money every night. But like you said, if you're following it, or if you're buying our sheets, frankly, well, okay, Tampa, yeah, sure, they were the hype team, but this Baltimore team is the better team right now.
Right now they are, and that's the way baseball is. You can't look at the records. You got to look at the trends. You got to see who's playing well, because baseball is ebbs and flows, man. Yep. It's up. It's down, and teams can get a team right now that's really playing well is Washington.
Yeah.
They swept the Giants.
Yep.
And another team that's not playing too bad is the Rockies.
Yep.
They win it. Now, those are teams that aren't very trustworthy. That's the only thing. But they're playing pretty well, so that's a couple of teams you might take a flyer on.
And there's two teams that you can do the opposite with right now: the Marlins and the Diamondbacks. So those were two teams that were money, and now they've gone down. So now it's like it's kind of like the balloon. When does it pop? Right? Like so, Vegas starts respecting the Diamondbacks and the Marlins, and when you see them start to teeter and kind of go down the other way, now they're overvalued. Now they're not playing quite as well. Now you go against them, and so that's kind of the thing.
That's how we figured it out, kind of.
Exactly. And with a long season, that's what you've got to pay attention to, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And your Reds weathered the storm.
Yep.
Looked like collapse was coming up for them. They could not score a run. What did you get? Shut out like 3 games in a row?
Yeah.
Something like that. It looked like, okay, they've come down to earth after a fantastic run. But now they've weathered the storm. But the problem with them is, look who they got next. They got the Brewers, and that's the team they can't beat. They've struggled with them. Yeah. So tonight, I don't know where you went with it. I haven't ruled them out quite yet. I'm still thinking about it. I don't believe in a team that's got their number all that much.
I do.
I know you do. I believe in the law of averages. If that game was in Cincinnati tonight, I'd be all over it.
I stayed away from it. I stayed away from it.
I'm going to too.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just can't. I gotta see this game tonight.
Well, in the theory, another thing with baseball that I do like about it, it's like usually there's 15 games a night. Like tonight, there's only 10 because some teams are traveling, but usually there's 15 games a night. Well, if you like, I'm not sure, just stay away from it. There's other options.
Just take it easy. I got 2 on there right now. Mm-hmm. I love parlays. I don't hit a lot of them, but sometimes I get on a roll with them. Can't find much tonight on a parlay. I looked at one and I just thought, no, payout's not good enough for the risk.
Yeah, I mean, and to that point, let's go to mine now. Look, I only have 1 tonight, and that's very rare for
crazy
me.
For you.
Yeah, because here it is. I'm 157 or 155 and 167. I play way more games than anybody else on
Oh, you do.
And it's just because I like to bet more stuff. But I didn't like hardly anything, so just kind of taking it easy today. The big change that I've made that I want to talk about this week is horse racing. Okay. So I wouldn't say I was doing bad, but I was very volatile, hit and miss, and either a horrible day and then a great day. And I was really, I was just kind of frustrated with the horse racing part of it. And, I was talking to some friends and some people in the industry that I respect, kind of mentors, and they're like, I don't really think you're not playing really to the strength of you as a handicapper. And I said, I don't even really know what that means. And it's like, anytime I'm around you, you're not playing $25 at daxes and doubles. Like, why are you doing that all of a sudden? It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to get those payouts. I'm chasing. He's like, go back to what you do best. Pick winners. Like, that's why the site is here. It's like, the free picks on the site. You did those and like wins. Just bet winners. I was like, okay. So Wednesday, I'm like, all right, I'll put some winners on there. I won't worry about doubles and win. So I'm like, all right, maybe my friends knew what I was talking about. So on Sunday, I quit trying to go for exactas and doubles and said, look, let's go back to the basic here. Let's just try to bet some winners, some horses I really liked. I put a 2-unit bet, so a $200 bet to start the day on Nest, who was an easy winner. I did a one unit bet on Spankhurst, who won, and then a 1-unit bet on Colonel Bowman, who won. So felt a lot better about it. And like I said, I think maybe – with doing the Bibles and then doing this, it's like I got caught up more on trying to get a $500-600 score instead of kind of doing or playing to my strength, which is churning off a long-term profit by betting these wins. So,
it makes perfect sense, right? Because we always tell first-timers or newcomers to the track, don't bet exactas, don't bet trifectas, don't bet doubles, bet winners. It's easier to get them, right?
Well, I think I kind of overthought what needs to be in
You're
those
trying to
betting
make
Bibles.
money.
Well, I think the betting Bible and because the betting Bibles and the best bets page kind of came out at the same time, and I alluded to it last week. I didn't put racing on this for the longest time because I didn't know what would be the best way for the customer to do this, and I just kind of I think I overthought it a little bit, and because one of my friends, Paul, was like, I was talking to him. He's like, well, what made you good? Like, what made you good at this? Why did the site work? Well, you go back and because I was telling him, man, I'm doing really good one day and really bad the next, and he said, what are you good at? I said, well, I can pick winners really well. He's like, just do that. It's like, why are you trying to do anything else? I don't know the answer to that. So anyway, we changed that. Now, one thing I did, hold on. Well, it doesn't have the commentary. So for the racing stuff, I wrote some commentary. Let me pull that up actually here. I'll pull that off the screen, then I'll pull it up, kind of show you guys what I did. So, because one of the things was like, what if people purchasing, they don't really, they want that exact or whatever. Here it is. Let me pull this back up. So this is the back end where we enter stuff. Anyway. So what I did is I was like, look, if the price gets too low on this horse, like I'm going to bet a win. But if you don't want to bet a win, I suggest a horse that you could put in second for an exact.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And so I thought, because that was one of my things was like, well, what if I give away a horse and it's 4 to 5 and people don't want that?
Yeah.
And my friend was like, well, who cares? This is what you're betting. But I said, no. So I thought, okay. Hey, if the price gets too low, add the 1 and an exacta, or add the 2 and something like that, where it's like, here's my bets. If you don't want to play a short price, here's other stuff you can do in the reasonings. So
the other thing is too, that I would point out, you bet Nest the other day, but you had to throw $200 on him to make money, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to bet $200.
So yeah, if you wanted to bet, well, I mean, just because I'm putting it on there doesn't mean you have to bet that.
Well, I know, but that was the way you made money, though.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
Well, I was gonna say, but I on Saturday, I put Accreditive, who was a single in our combined pick 5. I put a win, but I put $50 to win instead of 100 or whatever, because I had all these other plays and I didn't want to play too much, where it's like, if I just would have kept it simple, well, this is the horse I like the best today, play a hard win bet on that horse and forget it, So
he was a little bit iffy, though.
I didn't think so at all.
Well, if he was ready, he wasn't iffy.
Now, I thought the one undervalued asset who I played a win on here, I thought $50 was the right amount on that.
Yeah.
That was a little, I wasn't totally confident, but Accreditive, very confident. Should have played more than that. And so that kind of, but okay, 2-unit bet on Nest, because
if there was ever an almost sure thing, the race Saturday with Nest was almost, because Clairiere ran fantastic but didn't have a chance because Nest got the jump on her and wasn't pushed, and Clariere's not a pusher.
That's so exact. What you just said is exactly it. It's like, okay, Clariere's in the race, so Nest isn't going to go off at incredibly short odds. I mean, it's a 4-horse field. She's going to be short.
Yeah,
she's not going to go off at.
It's not going to be 1 to 9.
Or so Nest or Clairiere is going to take the money. Nest has the advantage. So I thought this was, even though she's 4 to 5, and most people are going to scoff at that, it's a 4-horse field. She has to beat 1 horse in the race. Right?
Yeah.
The other 2 horses had no chance. It's like, okay, is she 4 to 5 to beat Clairiere when Clairiere has no pace chance in this race?
No.
Yes. So I thought it was
because nobody was going to challenge Nest. Nobody that was any good.
Nope.
There was a horse that got ahead, but Nest did not let that horse out of her sight.
No.
And when you knew she was going to suck that horse under since she needed to.
Well, the whole race.
Left. Here comes old Clairiere running her butt off. Can't catch her. Just can't.
I kept Clairiere ranked ahead of Nest just because it's like Clairiere didn't have a chance. I mean, I felt terrible for her. But But you watch the whole race, the jock is looking back, just waiting for Clariere to start to move, and then
he knew
we're ahead of her. We'll just
horse he
move
had to
with
beat.
her. Yeah, exactly.
It's a pretty easy race when you know you have one horse to beat.
Yep, exactly.
So
anyway, keeping it a little more simple, sticking to what I do best, which is win wagers, and keeping it simple. And like I said, I'll write commentary if I feel like there's horses. It's like, hey, okay, maybe you don't want to play a win. Here's kind of some exactas or stuff. I'm doing wins. You can do exactas and doubles or whatever. So,
and one more thing about you're talking about baseball.
Yep.
Now, if I bet every game like we do every day, just money line betting every one of them, I don't do very good. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to worry about point spreads in baseball.
Yeah.
I love that because it's easier. If you can just hit the right game, you don't have to worry about +4, -5. And I don't like those -1.5, +1.5 because there's too much crap that can happen in those late innings, and that game can get away from somebody.
I agree. So we've been betting baseball seemingly feels like forever now, and we've been betting hockey. And hockey, you don't really have to mess with that either.
No.
Football's coming, and I'm almost sitting there like, you know what? I'm just going to play like plus money games, and I'm not worrying about the point spreads because I've got burned so many times in football on the point spreads that it's not even funny. So
well, I'm going to look closely at money line too.
Yeah.
So because those point spreads, man, it's hard. There's so many things that can happen.
Yep. My buddy John White, he said the same thing. He's like, I got burned on the point spread so many times. He said, now I do not make a bet that team's, unless that team's best interest is to do what I have bet on. Meaning, I'm betting to win the game, not betting them to win by 4 or 5 because that team doesn't care if they win by 4 or 5. They just want to win the game. So,
no, they don't.
And
you get in football down towards the end, you're running clock. You're not trying to score. You may have you may be ahead by 3, and you need them to win by 6 or make 7. Maybe you've got them at 7, and it's been closer than what you thought. And they're running clock, and they don't care whether they get that other touchdown. They just want this game to be over.
Yep.
And they may be inside the 20-yard line, and they need a first down to clinch the game. They get it. They take a knee. You lose. Yep. And that happens a lot. So
it does. Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm going to definitely be a little bit more conscious about that now that we've had hockey and with baseball, same
right.
Thing. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week. We'll be back next week talking about how we did. Hopefully, we're both off to a pretty good start this week. Hopefully, by the end of the week, we're had another good one, and we'll be back to tell you all about it and tell you what we're doing. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track. Summer's here. Our picks are heating up. We want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel right now. Click the notification bell. You don't want to miss a single one of our awesome videos. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.